I'm recording now, so please, if you're not
I am
commentating or
recording as
anything,
well.
Everyone mute.
mute Torino, especially you, Crunk.
Neutrino.
Yes, sir.
So it's gonna be a 3 lap quali as usual, clear, and we will reverse the top 10. Do not forget. So let's go.
Reversing top 10 for the feature race, sprint race, sorry. And then feature race, all that good stuff. It is 14 and 36 laps today. And, Goose, are you commentating or racing?
I'm racing.
Okay.
I have a new brother.
Oh fucking hell, dude!
Let's
Don't
get
do this to
everyone
me.
in the thing.
Okay, who are we waiting for? Matty and Corvid. It's always fucking Matty. Jesus Christ.
Alrighty, let's go.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
Welcome back, everyone, to the second half of the season. This is Challenger League Season 12, and we are back in the land of the Magyars. It is the Hungarian Sea Prix today at the new Margaret Island circuit, and the drivers have been very vocal about their worries about this track on the calendar. It's quite the fast, sweeping track through this rather narrow island, very akin to the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Canada. But we have a lot of drivers worrying about their eventual. That race style will be quite technical, of course. We've got Matima in the Reich Auto once again. We have our championship leader in 6Y actually out, not available for this race, so it's a big chance for some of his title
shite.
contenders to gain some much needed points in that fight for the title. We've got Flix and Figueroa both tying after one lap of qualifying. They do have two more chances to maybe put a better time in, just at the edge of the 27-second barrier here. Expect a little bit more from some of these drivers. Matima does put in a better lap, but it is only enough to tie. So we've got a three-way tie for the first three positions, though. Ethan in P4, then it's Doromus and Rusky. So still a lot of time that can be gained through for everyone, really, on this last lap here. We're just following Figueroa. He's putting in some nice lines to the final sector of the race course here. And will Figueroa improve? Looks like he will tie. Oh, and it's still tied at the end of it. That is quite interesting. No one able to break through that 27-second barrier. And I think it should be Flix first, then Figueroa, then Matima. Matima should definitely be in third based on how when they put the time in. But all things considered, good result for the Reich Autos. They've guaranteed themselves top three on the grid with both cars. And Flix will be hoping to start well, at least for that for the feature race later on. Jaruni in P4, good result. He had a little bit of an improvement on that last lap to get into that position. Ethan in P5 alongside Doromus in 6th for the VEOs. Good to see him back in the car. Rusky and Dumark gonna clear out the 4th road for VPT, just 1/100th between those two. Then it's Existent in 9th and Guziman, who will start us off on pole for the sprint race, P10, just
P11,
33
dude.
hundredths back from the pole time here. Second half of the grid, Urist rounds up P11, followed by Rams. I believe a former teammate once long ago in P12. Bonio, it's James for the HRT team, followed by Red Lobster, who is subbing in for 6Y today in the Lucy Britannica. Nakes in P15, tied with Kiato in 16th with a 27.85. Then it's Jake, barely 9/10ths back with that time. P17 filling in for the Bobcats, and it's Bubbles and Goose rounding us off. Goose not having a great lap there at the end, but this is quite a difficult track, and the drivers have a lot to do in that sprint, especially just coming up in the wet. 14 laps, and it's going to be a rather treacherous affair once we get down to it. Let's get
Okay.
that.
Okay, so what is the order that we're gonna go with?
I think
On my screen, it was Flix, Figo, and Matty. But I feel like it would be fairer to have like whoever said it first.
I think that was the order of setting it first. I know for a fact that Matty put in his lap third.
Okay, let's go with that then. So we have Guzian first, then X6, Deuce, Rusky,
Yep.
Theromus, Ethan,
Yep.
Jeru, Matty, and Figo, and then Flix in P10.
Sounds good.
14 laps. And
14 laps.
that is it. I think everything seems correct. Okay. Okay, let's go, let's go. Is
Alright, just waiting on X6 and Nakes. I am speaking. I know that text works against some people, but also people fucking tuning out on whatever I'm saying in between the sessions. That's okay.
okay, let's go.
And here we are
it's gonna
in the
be real
wet.
tough.
Guzman leading us off. X6 alongside, then it's the VPTs as we get underway here for the sprint race. Guzman taking a nice tight line through turn 1. Ooh, there's a lot of trouble going on. Dumarkin swerving back and forth, trying to follow in that slipstream. Rusky is through into P2, but Dumarkin makes a very risky dive there. It actually works out pretty well for him. Duromus is jumping all over the place. I'm not sure what's going on with him. And Matima is alongside him, and there's a big gap already following between the top 6 and everyone else due to that. And Red Lobster has lost out a bunch of time as well. He's all the way at the back. I'm not sure if he had a delayed start or anything. Oh dear. Oh, huge shove there. Gooser went straight into that collision at turn 2 there. And the chaos is not stopping. At the moment, though, it's Guzman who has a clean run of it. He's a second ahead of everyone else as we just end lap 2 here. Rusky, then X6. Duromus in P4 now. Figuera, followed by Matima. Dumarkina with Flix and Urist alongside. Then it's a big gap to the next group. P10 to Ethan and Bunyo. It's James right behind him. Kiato and Rams following through. Then Jaruni and Game on Goose. Goose with the big dive there. Gets through on the Belarusian driver. Nakes behind him. Then it's Jake and Mr. Bubbles with Red Lobster rounding us out at the moment. Pretty chaotic start, all things considered. But it is the Norwegian driver through into the lead of the race. Rusky has also seen to gap X6, who's now getting challenged by Duromus. He's going to try and look to the inside of turn 1. It becomes the inside of turn 2 as well. It's pretty tight here. X6 still controls his line pretty well. Rusky's actually fallen away a bit. So X6 now into P2. After that, pretty well driven, all things considered. Rusky finding a lot of trouble on that tight corner at the end of that straight here. Let's Urist go by into P5 now. Duromus and Matima fighting away just in front of him. Flix now also trying to follow through on the 2 drivers here. Rusky and Dumarkina getting quite shoved off to the outside. We're almost 4 wide heading into the hairpin here. Figuera cops the brunt of it into turn 2, but turn 3 he gets that switchback, at least gets Dumarkina here. But yeah, interesting result here. Matima and Duroma still fighting away. It gives Urist the chance to get into this, and so does it to Rusky as well. Flix, oh my god, it's just like the drivers are just flip-flopping on positions here. Urist and Rusky going super wide into the final corner. Looks like they've held onto the position though.
Guys,
Flix getting into it. They might go 3 wide into the next corner.
Come on,
Rusky
dude.
backs out of it,
Like,
and
come on.
good for him there.
Fucking hell, dude.
He's able to get past Figuera and Flix as well. Now he is into P4. No, Flix is back into P4. It is absolute flip-flopping.
Oh,
Urist
God,
goes
bro.
super deep and hits the barrier there. It's still Figueroa holding on to P4.
Ah, sorry,
And
Flex.
it's just letting the top three at the moment run away. Guzman now almost 3 seconds ahead with X-System chasing
Guys,
down.
come
He has
on.
the fastest lap of the race so far. Matimo in P3. Figueroa holding fourth at the moment. It's 3 wide into turn 2. Roski
Always
backs out. And again,
fucking
it's worked out in
morons.
the Hungarians' favour. And now it's a VPT 5 and 6, sorry. Eurus in 7th. Flix and Derome are still chasing. And it's letting some of the drivers further back also get into this fight here. Rams now into the top 10. Bundyworth, James, and Kiato fighting away right behind them. Ethan as well behind them. Then it's Nakes, Jaruni, Bubbles, Jake, Red Lobster, and Goose fighting away at the back of the field. Looks like Red Lobster has gotten through on the Canadian there. But it is all smooth sailing for the Norwegian. The Viking coming in the wet conditions as we just passed the halfway mark of the race now too. So the drivers will have to deal with even more worn tyres.
Oh, come
And,
on, Flex.
The worn tyres can really get quite difficult to battle with here. X6 and Matimar going side by side. It looks like X6 has let the pole through. Maybe just to avoid any extra trouble that may come from battling. Figueroa still in P4. He's having to fight with Ruski and Dumarkina in that interesting new livery they're sporting for this race. Ruski ahead of his teammates still trying to hold on to that slipstream. Figueroa is looking quite nice with it though. It looks like he's evaded the two drivers behind him. Then it's Flix in P7. Kiato behind him in 8th. Eurus and Rams side by side. Looks like Eurus has better speed, but Rams is the inside line. Eurus turns in really early for that, and it looks like it might have been able to get himself into that position. Into P9 just for the moment. Rams is still looking for an option here on the inside, but it becomes the outside of the next two corners. Oh, it's massive side-by-side driving, but Eurus and Rams go into the barrier there.
That
Rams
was a lag
copped
rocket,
a bunch of time loss there. He's fallen away to Bunnyworth, James, and Doromus as well. He's now back into P11. Doromus as well has really fallen back. Jaruni into P13. Nakes, and then Ethan, Bubbles, Goose, Jake, and Lobster back in the back of the pack as well. He's not been able to really get out of this spot. Fighting with the two one former team owner, one current team owner at the moment, and the lag rockets just keep going for the Turkish driver. It's not going quite well for him today. Tries to make a move on Jake, but he just can't manage it with the grip at the moment. It's absolute trouble at the back of the field. Glizzyman still running away with this. Matimar seems to have dropped X6, and Figueroa is through into P3. But it is a four-way fight for that position with just 2.5 laps to go. And the grip is not looking favourable for the drivers at all. But the Figueroa is still finding a way through. X6 with a bit of trouble back there. Dumark and Kiato. Oh, if they go 3 wide into this, it could be a ton of trouble here. Kiato tries to break early. Dumarkina follows him through, and X6 has lost out a bunch of time there. He's lost out on the slipstream too. Figueroa makes a mistake. Kiato through into P3. Dumarkina tries to find a switch back there. It's just not going to work with the grip they have at the moment. But it's Kiato through. It might be 2 Nordic Lizards on the podium. They've got 1 more lap to settle this out. Figueroa finding himself losing even more time as Dumarkin and Kiato go side by side. X6 still in 6th, then it's Flix, Rusky, Bunny, it's James, Eurus, but it is Guzman running away on the back straight now. In the final lap of the race, he has been calmly in the lead, but he's actually lost quite a lot of time to Matimar at the tail end of this race. So the pole, maybe with a better start, could really find some momentum into that sprint race.
Oh, fucking hell,
sorry,
Bunyo.
but it is Guzman running away, winning the sprint race here. Kiato and Matimar side by side. Matimar will just hit him into P2. Kiato taking 3rd. Dumarkina in 4th. Then I believe X6 just taking over Flix. No, it's a tie for P6 there. Rusky in 8th. Then it's Eurus ahead of Rams, followed by Doromus and Bunyas James. Jaruni, followed by Ethan, Nakes, Bubbles, Red Lobster, Jake, and Goose rounding us out. Wow, interesting that tie for P6 there.
Jesus, that is so bad.
And Kiato also took the fastest lap right at the tail end. I'm not sure what happened there, but he must have gotten a lot of slipstream there with that. And solid result to get that P3. Almost fought away. Almost got that P2 at the end there. Matimar finding a bit of trouble there. But Kato's pace on the final few laps was absolutely brilliant. He'll definitely love that P3. But it is Guzman taking near maximum
What
points
happened
for
to
the
Jeru?
for the sprint race. Sorry, keep getting those mixed up. Don't know why. Matimo in second, Kiato third. Dumarkina, solid result with fourth place there. Figuera in fifth, and it's X6 and Flix 6th and 7th. But then we'll be tied, so they will be sharing the points for that, I believe. Rusky in P8, followed by Urist and Rams rounding out the top 10. Doromus in 11th, just ahead of Bunyots James, then Jerini in 13th, Ethan, Nakes, Bubbles, Lobster, Jake, and Goose for the sprint race today. What a race. And we can only imagine even more chaos will ensue come the long-running feature race. We've got, I believe, 36 laps in the dry, and that really allows for a lot of strategy, I believe. This is a track where there isn't seeming to be one solid tire choice, because the softs don't really go for that long, while the hards can last quite the long time. So we might have a little bit of a difference compared to most of the races we've seen, where the softs and sometimes the mediums seem to be the best strategy, but the hards could definitely come into play on this circuit. We'll have to see how that plays out in the feature race in just a few moments.
Do you have the standings? I only really have the top 10 actually.
For the quali.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I might need to stop the recording and get you that.
Yeah, I only really need the people outside the top 10, so I will set the top 10 while you check, I guess. So it was
All good.
Flix.
Okay, so Flix, Figo, Matty.
Yeah. Jeru? What happened to
Jeru,
Jeru?
Ethan. He died. Jeru 4th, Ethan, Daramus.
Ethan Daramus.
Rusky, Dumarkina, X6.
X6. Guziman.
Guziman,
Urist.
yourself, Rams.
Rams.
Bunyo 13th.
Banyo.
Red Lobster.
Red Lobster.
Nakes, Kiato.
Nick Schiato.
Jake, Bubbles, Goose.
Jake, Bubbles, and Goose. Okay. So that should be it. Yeah, that was chaotic to say the least.
That was very chaotic, yeah.
Okay, it's 36 laps, right? Can you confirm that?
Believe it is. Imagine if sprints were dry. Yeah, 36.
Okay, let's do 36. Clear. Tire wear 1.
Who is Goose saying is TPing? Oh, he's saying Jake's TPing. Look, I didn't see Jake TP. The only person I saw TP was like Doromus at the very start, but it's stabilized.
Jake is teleporting, but it's very minor.
Yeah, be careful, everyone.
But it is consistent. Like, I went around a turn with his ghost for like an entire sequence of turns.
Christ, Maddie, shut up.
I raced with his ghost so much, he's haunting
Let's
me.
make an attempt for good racing on this track. But yeah, I'm happy to have Doromus drive for now. If he feels comfortable driving, if he starts teleporting at the start, I'll just
Okay, let's go.
Alright, but welcome back. We've got strategy on the way with our feature race today. Flix leading us off, the lights are out, and away we go. Flix, Figuera, Matima, Jerini getting a good start too. So we enter turn 1. Ethan makes a bold dive there, and he's through into P3. Big result here for him, but Jerini gets through as well. It's a absolute mess of cars as we enter this time. Oh my goodness, Jeroen finding a ton of trouble there. Just unable to put the brakes on properly. Bunny, it's James and Rams through. Yeah, that lag rocket really not helping him there. Jake getting through as well. It looks like most of the drivers have hit the barrier at least once here, but Figuera is leading us away. Flicks in P2, then it's
God
Matima,
fucking
Kuziman,
damn it,
Dumarkina,
X6.
X6, Doromus. Huge, that might be a huge lag rocket, but no, it's Urist and Rusky slowing down just in time for them make that corner there. Jeroen in that fight as well with X6 is falling away a little bit. Ethan through, no, gets squeezed out on the inside of that corner. Kiato, Jake, Bunyo might have been forced into the grass there. A lot of fast laps coming in now. And Rams and Nakes at the back end of this little pack here. Bubbles, Lobster, Goose rounding out the order so far, but it is Flicks and Figuera at the start. Dumarkina running quite well, deciding on the medium tyre. And as most drivers
come on,
have gone onto the
Doromas.
softs, but if you have a chance on the mediums and the hards, Dumarkina will really benefit from that great start he's gotten. He's slowly going to fall into P4. Matima trying to get through. So is Doromas with that fast lap he's just set. And Dumarkina copying the brunt of that on the medium tyre. He'll be falling down to P6. Kiato and Rusky also on the mediums. And then you've got Jake, Rams, and Bunyo on the hard tyres. And everyone else is on the softs. So we'll just have to see how the hard tyres and the mediums will do compared to the softs. Especially come to the midpoint and around like lap 5, lap 6 of the soft stint. Because those will be the laps where the tyres really start to die out. He's making a dive there, but he's able to control the extra speed he had onto the next corner. So he doesn't gain too much from that. But it is a tight battle between our top two Flicks, leading us away. But Figuera makes an excellent move into that corner. Flick's still holding on to the, just a...
Oh yeah, of course Maddie
car
wants you to
Figuera
slip
lets
him.
him through back into the lead. Figuera at the switchback though, he's into the lead now. And Figuera maybe will be seeing that back move through the first sector. Maybe that's why he gave a bit of space to Flicks on the start finish. Red Lobster's DNFing from the race, and he's definitely not been happy with how his race has
the
gone.
Roma's
Doromus is
teleporting.
jumping all over the place. I'm
That
thinking
was very bad.
about maybe... I don't know what to do with
what's
that.
up, Maddie?
Give him one more
You're
chance, I think. Matima
not
is
slipping
getting through, so
Doromus?
is Urist. We'll have to contend with the Welshman. Matty is through into P3. Doromus giving the big squeeze to Urist on the outside. It looks like he'll hold on to the slipstream for the time being.
Fucking hell,
Dumarkina
Doromus.
in P6 now, holding up Guzziman and Ethan behind him. It's lap 7 now, and both of our top two are still going for another lap. Matima not deciding on the pit. Who's going to pit first? It is X6 makes a stop off the soft tyres. Bunyo, it's James, Jake, and Nakes fighting away. James on the hard tyre now. He'll be really looking for his chances here. Rams and Rusky also on some harder compounds compared to Nakes and Jake. Who'll be hoping for not too much trouble here. The grip is really poor here. Nakes finds a ton of trouble on the grass. X6 now on that undercut as the leaders pit for those tyres. At least not the leaders, actually. Figuera and Flicks going for a 9th lap here. Matima and Urist will be the first to react. Doromus as well heading in. So it actually is Matima, Doromus, Urist on the mediums now. So those three seemingly wanting to work together here. Kiato now in P4 on those medium tyres. Dumarkina will hopefully be going for another lap. Figuera and Flicks will have to pit now. Those soft tyres are dead in the water. We'll have to see how everyone behind them makes do. Dumarkina for a 10th lap on the mediums. So will Kiato. Matima and Doromus on that undercut. Gained quite a bit of time on the top two, but it is Kiato in the middle of that group. Urist fallen away a little bit from the other two he pitted with, but he is on the medium tyres, so he'll be hoping for a different strategy to finish his second stint. Guzziman on the softs as well in P8, and it's X6 who was the first to stop. Bunny James still on the hard tyres, running for another lap. Keanu making that stop now. He's going on for the hards. Ethan finding some trouble here. Rams through, but Rams will have to pit very soon. So will Jake. Bunny James finding some trouble here. I think he's gotten shoved off by someone's trailer there. And he's fighting trouble. And now Jarini's trying to make sure he doesn't get held up by the HRT driver. Looks like he's gotten through just fine. Kyoto trying to make some moves on those hard tires. It is Rams into the pits now. Onto the softs for him. Rusky in P15 now. Or 14 after passing Rams in the pit lane next. Then it's Rams out of the pits. Bubbles, Goose as the last one running at the moment. But it is Dumarkner running for a 12th lap on the medium tyre. He's going to make the stop now off those tyres. Maybe he'd be going for a 2-stop here. If he can hold on to just being on the mediums the whole race, it could be a potential strategy he could go for. And Figueroa and Flix will be hoping that maybe it wasn't too much of a risky call to go for 9 lap softs, because that's definitely a little past where most people are expecting the softs to run for. Maybe that extra lap, though, can help them set up for a potential 3-stop. But they are side by side, and there are still quite a ways away from Matima and Doromus, who have lost a bit of time trying to get through Kyoto, who has made that stop here. Matima still in P3, still holding on to it ahead of Doromus. Guzman, Urus is going to benefit from all of this slipstream as well to make those medium tyres work even better. And I think the mediums will actually work quite well here. This is a great chance for Urus to get a lot of extra time before he maybe puts on softer tires and fresher tires than everyone else in front of him. There could be an outside chance for him to gain a lot of time on the front too with this strategy. Guzman finding some trouble in that corner, gets in some trouble with Doromus, and Urus copping a little bit of the brunt there. It is still P6 for the Portuguese driver. Dumarkner in P7, running on those medium tyres. X6 on some old softs now. He will make a quick stop here. So it's been 7 laps and then 8 laps for X6 on the soft tyre. And he will go in for another set of the softs. The first person to go in for another set of a second stop, sorry. And so will next follow him, and so will Red Lobster as well. Oh no, sorry, Red Lobster's out of the race. I just saw the pit lane thing. That's all good. Figueiredo is still in the lead, but Flix is definitely not far behind at all. Will anyone go for the undercut? That is the real question.
Oh my god,
maybe we could see a medium tyre from one of these two, maybe try to go for a different strategy. Or will Figueira hold on to this lead? Because Flix is challenging, but he seems a bit comfortable in the slipstream at the moment. Someone gonna make a move? No, because anyone making an early move here could really start off some trouble here. Doromus! Oh, that is a big teleport here. I'm not sure if Urus copped the brunt of that, but Doromus will hit the wall on my screen, then teleported into the pit lane. I'm not sure if he should be continuing at this point.
You really shouldn't, to be
honest.
honest.
But it is Urus now running free in P3. Dumarkner in 4th. And there's Guzman and Matima. They're both on the hard tyres now, so they're going for an interesting swap of strategy and potentially going for a soft stint to finish the race. It's Urus, Flix, and Figueira in. Figueira and Flix in for the soft tyres, and Dumarkner has caught up to them.
28.
Matima on the hards, Guzman on the hards, Doromus on the soft
Holy
tyre.
shit!
Oh my goodness. Urus finding a lot of trouble on that pit exit. He's gotten right with X6 and Kyoto. They're both diving right in. X6 finding the gravel there at the end of that corner, rounding out that back straight, and Urist is trying to hold on to this position as best he can. X6 has the overspeed though. He might make the move into turn 1. This battle for P7. Urist has the inside though. He makes a good line of it, and he holds onto the position there. X6 just trying to make a move that wasn't going to work in that spot. Uruni and Ethan, 10th and 11th, sorry, still on the hards. Uruni on some fresher hards than Ethan by the tiniest amount, so they did pit on the same lap. Jake, followed by Rams, who was on some fresh soft rubber you might be wanting to get through, and so will Nakes, the Australian, trying to get through. Oh, dude, he just got little bit of a shove there from the trailer. We'll go back to the lead. Sorry, I'm stuttering all over the place for this race, but it is still Figueira in the lead of the race. Flix just, I think he's just outside slipstream range, actually. But Figueira was slower on that lap, so Flix might be able to get back into the slipstream in a moment or two. is quite tight. It has been quite tight between these two drivers. Now it's Dumarkina fighting well with Matimar and Guziman. Dumarkina still trying to hold on these medium tires. Not sure if the strategy is really working out for him. Maybe the hard tires could provide a benefit if he comes in now. Guziman finding some trouble there, getting shoved off the side on the straight there by Matimar. Doromus also trying to contend with these drivers here. He will have to make another stop, and so will everyone else in this pack. Dumarkina will be hoping that the mediums can guide him for another lap at the very least. Oh, that's a big problem there for Dumarkina, finding the grass there, just unable to make the grip work any longer. He's got to make a stop now. I don't see he can't go on for another stint on this, surely. There he goes into the pits. He's probably going to go onto the hards. He's going to be the first person to pit. No! Dumarkina is going for the soft tire. And so is X6. So, with 13 laps to go, both drivers are hedging their bets on 2 sets of soft tires. That is very interesting, because I'd say the hards can definitely make the end of the race from this point of time. As I say that, Doromus is in, and he is in for the hard tires, so he'll be the first person to be on his final stint of the race, and he is coming out just ahead of Jaruni. He's through on Jaruni, who will have to pit once again. But Doromus now is the first driver who's going to be running to the end of the race now. He doesn't have to pit anymore, and this undercut could provide quite the benefit ahead of Matimar and Guziman, who he was fighting with before he made that stop. But Jaruni also hoping to get a bit of extra slipstream, trying to make his last stint a little bit easier for himself. Dumarkina on some fresh soft tires there. He might have given away a few positions with that decision there. So would have X6, Rusky, and Ethan in between those two. X6 now in P11, and it is Bunyo in 12th, Kiato, then Rams, Nakes, Bubbles, then Jake and Goose at the end of it. But it is Figueroa, and he's on some fresh mediums, so he's also going to be running to the end of the race. Flicks on some fresh mediums as well. Matimar and Guziman actually a full pit stop behind the two now, and Flicks is fighting some trouble with the two hard runners here. And he's lost the slipstream to Figueroa seemingly again. I feel like he might have just gotten it back before the pit stop phrase, but once again he's lost out. And the mediums will have to be the choice of tire to run to the end between these two. Can Figueroa hold on to this position? Because Flicks and Figueroa have actually gone on the same strategy for the entire race, and I just wonder, potentially, if Flicks could have done something different and maybe gone for a alternate strategy to maybe offset his tires to Figueroa and maybe get some extra track position with that. Guziman and Matimar both in, and they're both in for soft tires. That'll have to run for the next 8 laps of the race. Doromus is through on the both of them though, on the hard tires. We'll have to see if he can manage to hold off the soft runners. Dumarkina getting in the way of Matimar there, but he's fallen just behind of him. UR2D2 on the softs now as well, pitting just ahead of X6. Will have to stop once again, and it's Jaruni on some fresh rubber in P9. Kiato hopefully running to the end on those hard tires, but has to contend with Ethan on some fresh softs, and Ethan is through. Britt just getting past, but Kiato is not letting this fight go to waste anymore. Ethan side by side with him now in that battle for P10, but the soft tires will just have too much grip at this point compared to the hards, I believe. And there you go, Ethan on Kiato. Rusky ahead of Rams for the time being, but Rusky on those fresher mediums will be dragging Rams along potentially into another battle. Jake now in P14, those hard tires working quite well for him. Bunyos, James, and it's Nakes, Bubbles, Goose, and that is it. Dumarkina and X6 will be the last ones to pit for today. Doromus still holding on to P3 ahead of Guziman and Matimar. UR2D2 in P6, then Jaruni in 7th. Can he hold on to that position against Dumarkina, who's on some fresh rubber now in P8? Ethan, then Kiato, they're fighting for P9 now as X6 makes that stop. Can X6 run back to the top 8, or...
Yeah, they're in each other's
even the top 9.
slip, so...
Or will Rams and Rusky
I don't think I can
try to follow him through? It looks like Rams and Rusky have their own battle to deal with here. Rusky still ahead. Then it's Jake still in P14. But let's go back to the leader, because Figueroa has absolutely blitzed away from Flicks here. With 4 laps to go, he's got almost a 3-second gap. And it's looking better and better for the Portuguese driver here. The Portuguese-Japanese driver getting through that sequence of corners once again, and he's just building the gap, it feels like. Flix is unable to contend on pure pace on these medium tyres. So that might be the race or win almost settled here. Matimar getting through now into P3. He's gotten past Aromas, and so is Guzman, but he is run away from Guzman. He doesn't have the slipstream, so if Matimar can stay error prone, he can sew up that podium, and it will be
Yeah,
double
I
podium
don't
for
think I
Raikkonen
can
Auto
catch
if he can manage it.
Daromas.
Daromas now in P5.
I need to gain like 1.5 seconds
Still
per
on the
lap, which
hard
is
tyres.
possible,
He's
I
struggling
guess.
a little bit. Can Urist find a way to catch up to him? Might be a bit too much to ask. 4 seconds back with 2.5 laps to go. Girouni chasing down the Bobcat driver here in P7. Then it's Dumarkina in 8th. Kiato, Ethan, and X6 trying to get past through against Heritage Performance driver. Oh, it's a big shove there. Ethan unable to make the corner there, and X6 getting into his wake. Think there has to be a position given there. Ethan is still trying to fight this though. X6 has wedged his way into the inside, and he's made the move there into P10. And I think there's not really a good chance there for Ethan to really fight back. X6 has got such better tyres compared to him at the current moment.
Okay,
Rams
last
and
lap.
Rusky still fighting away for P12 here. Bunyo and James the Snakes have gotten through on Jake. But it is Figueroa who has calmly set the pace the whole race here, and he will win the feature race here at Margaret Island. Flix will round out a solid P2 result for him, and Matimar will hold on to the podium here. It is a 1-3 for the Rika Auto team. Guzman in P4,
Oh my god,
then
that
it's Doromis
was...
in P5. Urist will head home in 6th place with that alternate strategy. Then it's Daruni in 7th. Dumarkina ahead of Kiato as the gaps really start to blow up. But Ethan tries to get that slipstream. X6 will still hold him at the end. Rusky will finish in P12, followed by Rams and Bunyo. Next in 15th. Sorry, Jake behind them. Then it's Bubbles in 17th, and Goose still, I believe, a lap down to round us out. So that Rams actually gave the position to Rusky at the end there. Interesting. But, yeah. Good result there for Figueroa, and I believe he's going to be back into P2 at the end of that. Guzman only taking 4th after winning the sprint race, of course. And the fastest lap going to X6 with a 26.87. So that'll be all for today. Figueroa, Flix, and Matimar are your podium for
That
the
wasn't bad.
Hungarian C-Prix feature race today.
I feel like I could have
That
done a
should
bit
definitely
better.
give Figueroa
Perhaps
back P2 in
the second
the championship.
medium stint
Guzman in P4 will hold on to
perhaps was
hold
not
on
the
to
best
3rd
choice.
place as Rams as might actually lose the position to Girouni in that battle for P4 there. Anyways, Daromas, solid result in P5 there with the hard tyres working out at the end. Urist with the alternate strategy gets into P6, then it's Girouni in 7th, Dumarkina, Kiano, then it's X6 rounding the top 10, taking that fast lap as well for the Mazda Motorsport team. Ethan in 11th, followed by Rusky, then Rams, Bunyots, James, Nakes, and then Jake, Bubbles, and Goose round out the finishes here with Red Lobster retiring after just 5 laps, I believe. But that is all for today. Thank you for this. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for participating in another eventful round of Challenger League. And we head to Shuvashia next round for the race at Amazonia Park. We'll see you then. Woo! All done.
Oh, wow.
That was
Fuck,
intense. That track
No,
is so
no,
hard.
no, 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 no. I what? Oh, why? I had like I was following Figueroa, but then when I pitted for mediums, then there was Matsima, I think, and oh no, it was Dukes and Goozy Man, I think, and they I don't know, they kind of were in my way, so I just lost time. And then overall, Figo is just faster than me anyway. I was just relying on the slipstream. But yeah, Night P2 is not bad.
Bro just said not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah, the
I'm
the
looking at the
Romas should
I'm looking at the
definitely
driver
not have been
radio.
the Romas should probably have been DNF'd. He was teleporting a lot. In one at one
Yeah.
point I even saw him just stop in the middle of the track, you know, kind of like a brake check. So
Yeah.
that was a bit unnerving to be slipping him because at any point he could just stop his car in the middle of the track.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the end it didn't affect me. It might have affected Goozy though. But yeah, I guess he also ended up getting the best strategy there. I went for softs, medium softs. I did get a lot of slip with the mediums on the first stint, but for the second stint, I was mostly alone. So it turned out to not be very productive.
Hmm. Didn't seem like anyone was productive that entire race, besides the top
Wait,
two.
I'm so confused. It says I am P3 in qualifying, but I started first.
You were first
You
on
were
my
all
screen.
tied.
Yeah, on my screen
You
I
were
was
all
first
tied,
too.
and you were all tied, and you put the lap in first.
Yeah, but in the qualifying results it says I'm third. That I started
Yeah,
first.
look,
So
it
I'm
does that.
confused.
It does that.
Mm,
Don't worry about it.
mm, mm, mm.
Is Red Lobster in the chat? No, he's not. Jake has said whoever Red Lobster is a mong.